Hi, I'm Jackie. I'm an Arizona realtor and have built a multi-million-dollar business with my husband by using what I learned from being a teacher. Now I'm bringing the steps I took to leave the classroom and become a top producing agent and team owner. So grab your coffee, cherry vanilla Coke, or maybe even a cocktail, and let's begin. Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. The COVID bug finally stung me, and I'm going to tell you right now, it was not fun at all. I'm still coughing a little bit here or there. So I hope that you are willing to bear with me and listen to a little bit of my coughing as I'm going to drop some amazing tools and tips in this episode. I'm really excited because in today's episode, I want to talk about something that I think every teacher would appreciate. Okay, here it is. Tools and apps to help your job be easier, more organized, and just overall save you as someone who may be working two jobs now, teaching and real estate, or someone who's maybe just going in real estate full time, to take away some of the time, give you some extra time. So anyhow, I'm going to be dropping these things. So before we get started with apps that I use as a real estate agent, I want to talk about some apps that I use in the classroom. Okay, so first things, well, you know what? Some of them may not be apps. Some of them may just be like tips and tricks that I did. Okay, so first of all, the first thing that I used that really did help me take back a little bit of my time, it was a way that I could organize different things, was Class Dojo. If you do not know about Class Dojo, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to take the rock that you are currently under and I need you to move it to the side, okay? Class Dojo is amazing. And what did it do for me in the classroom? One, all of those kids that had like their point sheets and stuff that would go home. Now, instead of having to walk around with stickers all the time, and like it never failed, like you'd want to go give out a sticker and you're like in the middle of a lesson and it just wasn't appropriate. Well, Class Dojo, because it was an app that I can put on my iPad, as I'm walking around the classroom, I can just add points immediately. The kids see it, they're excited, that you see them light up because it was just a way to praise them immediately. Another thing I liked about Class Dojo is it went to the parents. So the parents would see like a review of their day. They could see what was going on. If I needed to send them a note, I could. And guess what? Never had to pick up pen or paper. Never had to look and see like if the kid like ripped that part of the agenda out. like did they hand them the note? Like I didn't have to make a call. Guys, Class Dojo was like the bomb. Okay. Second thing, and this isn't a app. Okay, this is not an application. Well, I guess it's an application. It was a way that I worked. Anyhow, okay, anecdotal records, right? Okay, that was, I remember the one thing that I remembered going into teaching, I always really kind of sucked at it. Not that I didn't keep anecdotal records, but it was just hard to find them and like file them and like, how am I going to do this? And so what I did was I took a file folder and then I took index cards. And I taped them all down. And what I could do is I could put their name on it. And then I flipped it up on the backside and I could write their notes. Okay. And I could date it, like if this was reading groups or math or whatever. And when I got into a position where I was switching classes, guess what? Now I could have an index card for like my first period, my second period, all that kind of stuff. And the nice thing is if someone were to see it, like if someone was sitting across from me, like another kid, okay, and I'm writing the notes, one, they can't see everybody else's, all they see is their own, okay? Another thing is because they're just taped down with Scotch tape, when it's time for, conferences, I can just take all of the kids off, staple them together, hand them to the parents, kind of talk about the things that I'm seeing. And now I don't have to go back and look at grades. I can go back to my anecdotal records and really see what are the strengths, what are the areas of improvement. So that was like, game changer. Loved it. Okay, the other thing was, guys, I love lesson plan books. And I will tell you, even though I'm not in the classroom, I still kind of have a lesson plan book. And I put like, these are the things that I need to work on for creating leads. These are the things I need to do for the team. And then like in each of those boxes that I have for each of those things, I add little to-dos for each day. Okay. I still do that. All right. Erin Condren. I love her. All of her. Oh my God. It's just, I love those. Okay. So, but the one thing I found was I was spending a lot of time in my lesson plan book. Okay. I was writing stuff down. I was having to rewrite it because, you got to carry it over to the next week, or, you got to circle it and then like put an arrow and then it doesn't look pretty. So the best app that I found, it was called PlanBook EDU. Okay. Now I'm not super excited about like, online, lesson plans or whatever. Like I was always like, no, that's not pretty. I don't want it to look like that. I want to have a pretty lesson plan book. Okay. But guess what? This was amazing because I could type everything in. I could create my schedule, and then every single week it would go over. If I didn't get to a lesson, guess what? Instead of having to circle it or rewrite it, I just copy it and then paste it into the next day or the next week or whatever. And here's the other thing. You can add attachments. Yes. So like if I had an amazing, like PowerPoint or like a presentation or like a video link to like a YouTube video, I could put that all within that lesson plan, like in that box for that specific subject. The other thing was all of my worksheets, all of my printouts, all that kind of stuff, I could put those in there. So guess what I did? I shared my lesson plan book because you can share it with people. Okay. They don't have to have an account. You can share it with them. So I would share it with my assistant. She would go through like the following week and she would be able to print out all of my stuff that I needed, like paper stuff. She would make the copies and then put it in my filing system for that day for that subject. Guys, talk about organized. It was amazing and I loved it. Okay, next tool. Teachers pay teachers. I can't even remember the day that someone introduced me to Teachers Pay Teachers, but it was the most magical day of my entire life. It's a day that I will never forget, even though I forgot what day it was, because what it did was it gave me a way to take back some of my time. Okay, I was one of those teachers, and I'm sure I have a lot of people who are like that that are listening to this podcast. I wanted to create everything brand new. I wanted to make everything specific for the students that I had that year. I didn't just like say, oh, this is what we've always done. This is what we're always going to do. No, that's stupid because guess what? You don't have the same kids every single year. Okay. Different students have different needs. So you should not be teaching the exact same content in the exact same manner. Now, if you're teaching fourth grade, are you still going to be teaching adding fractions? Yes. But should you be using the exact same lesson? No. And for those people that are like, oh, but we have a textbook, guess what? You're smarter than that textbook because a teacher didn't create that textbook, okay? A business person did, all right? And last time I checked, business people did not go to school to be educators. We're the educators. We're the expert. So could you use it as a resource? Sure. Could a sub use that so that way you can actually they could teach the content? Absolutely. Should you as a professional educator be relying on the Pearson book, whatever? Sorry, Pearson, I just dropped your name. But no, there's ways that we know that will engage better with the kids. Maybe we need it to be more challenging. Guess what? Add an enrichment. You know how to do that. You're a teacher. Maybe we need to scaffold it down and we need to be more hands-on. Okay, let's do that too. All right. So I think the important thing is Teachers Pay Teachers really allowed those educators who were thinking out of the box to be able to share that stuff. And it was a way that we could share things across, lines. Like it was great. Plus, it's a great way to make more money because if you're one of those people like me that created tons of original stuff, you can put it on there, make a little money. Hello, I like money and I really liked Starbucks. So that was my Starbucks fund. All right. Next couple things that I used. Google Classroom. Okay, Google Classroom was my jam. It was an easy way to send grades to parents. I could add stuff. I could add, if a kid was out absent, I didn't have to create like that stapled together stuff. Like it was already on there, everything for the day. So guess what? If you're absent, don't come to me asking me what your work was for the day. Go into your Google Classroom and see it. And guess what? You can go ahead and do it that day. If you feel like you could go ahead and do the work, go ahead. If not, that's totally fine. But all of your stuff's going to be right there for you. Not to mention that you have no more turn-in tray on Google Classroom, right? Everybody just turns it in to you. And then you can grade it all. And then you can send it on. And you don't have to have that huge freaking bag that like breaks your back. I wonder how many teachers had to get shoulder surgeries. We should do a poll. If you're a teacher and you had to get a shoulder surgery or maybe even like a collarbone something, or maybe your back, because of those heavy AF teacher bags. Yeah, that may be a paper, but when you have 120 students because you departmentalize and you have all of those tests, and maybe, I don't know, maybe you're a science teacher and there's like investigation notebooks. Guys, those are heavy. Okay. Guess what Google Classroom did? It made it where the only thing I have to bring home is my laptop. Yes. And that's super easy. Now I don't feel like I'm the Hunchback of Notre Dame. All right. Google Forms. Hello. I love the Google form because once I create the assessment, it's always created. It's 100% mine. I can add pictures. So if I find a really good question in a textbook, I can go ahead and take a picture of that, upload it into my Google form so that way they see it. And guess what? Unless it's a short answer, if I have multiple choice questions, if I have, hey, this is the right answer, I don't have to grade as much. I love it. Yes. Okay. So those were all the apps that I used as a teacher. And if you are not using one of those, or if no one's ever introduced you to any of those, guess what? Have at it. They are amazing. And you can always reach out to me and ask me teacher questions, even though I've been out of the classroom. Oh, girl, still got the juice. Okay. All right. So as a real estate agent, what are the apps that I personally use every single day that really help streamline my business, give me back a little bit more of my time, and make it easier for me to get done what I need to get done? Okay, first one, Canva. Love it. And you know what? Canva, I wish I knew about Canva when I was a teacher, because it is a game changer. Presentations are just, oh my gosh, Canva presentations are beautiful. I wish I would have had those because, don't get me wrong, like the Google Slides is cute, but like, I kind of like the Google one or the Canva ones better. Okay. So how do I use Canva? Well, if I'm going to have an open house, I use Canva for all of my flyers. If I'm going to talk about a property, I use Canva. If I'm going to talk about my team, I use Canva. Basically, I use Canva for everything. And I'll spend hours upon hours on Canva, and I'll feel like I'm really getting work done. I may not be getting a lot of work done, but it's being productive. The nice thing about Canva is if you are doing branding, okay, so like now that you're a real estate agent or you're going into real estate, guess what? You're an entrepreneur. You own your own business. So you need to act like you own your own business. What does that mean? That means you need to have a logo. And it needs to stay the same. And the reason why is because you want people to associate that logo with you, okay? When we see a little apple with a bite out of it, guess what we think of? Apple, right? The MacBook, okay? The iPhone, the AirPods, all of those things, right? We have associated that logo. If they went up and changed their logo, we'd all be like, now who is this, right? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. All right, there's certain logos. So yes, as a business person, you should have a logo. And don't pick something that everybody uses. Don't have like the house with a key. I'm sorry, that is so basic. All right, that's what the kids would say. They would call it basic. All right, make something that is specific for you. All right, maybe even have someone who's in like that line of business and marketing make some suggestions on like, how do you come up with that? All right, or maybe like attend a training or a webinar or something. All right. The other thing about Canva, you can save that logo so that way it's always there. Okay. So that way, you've got it right there. You can also save colors. So like if you always want this certain shade of a given color, that way it's always there. Fonts, again. So you can create these templates where you have all of that there. So that way it's easy to find. So the red is always that same red. That gray is always that same gray because there's like 50 shades of gray. Bing, boom, making jokes. Okay. So Canva. All right. Here's the next one. Calendly. Calendly is an online calendar. Now, not only is it good for, like whatever, like doing calendar stuff, but it's a way that people can set appointments with you on their own. Yeah. You don't have to call them and be like, hey, let's find some time. You just send them the link. Now, here's the nice thing. If you have it connected to your Google Calendar, then it's going to automatically take out the times that you already have things planned. Okay. Another thing I like about Calendly is it takes into consideration time change. So when you set up your Calendly, you put in what your time zone is. So like, for example, because I'm in real estate, I may have people who are relocating to Arizona from another area that's in another time zone. So guess what? When they create an appointment, it's going to give them the open times based on their time zone. But when it sends me the appointment, guess what? Yes, it's going to be in my time zone. On Calendly, you can actually charge for appointments. Now, you don't want to charge someone for an appointment if they're going to buy a house from you, okay? But it's a way that, but you can charge. Okay. So like if you have a side business, if you have a side hustle, like I also, not only do I sell real estate, but I also help agents understand how to use their CRM, which is a customer relation marketing tool. So I can charge them for that. There's also a reschedule button. So whenever you get the email that, hey, someone has set this appointment, if very small but if it has assigned a time and you forgot to block out that time, or maybe you had an appointment, or maybe it wasn't in the Google, or maybe there was just like, it's technology, stuff happens. What you can do is you can send them a reschedule link, and you can send it by email or by phone. And that way they can go ahead and reschedule. So Calendly is amazing. All right. Next one, Milkshake. I'm not talking about the one that you get at the ice cream store, okay? Milkshake is a free app that you can put on your phone, or you can put it on a tablet. And what it's going to do, it's basically like an optimized link. And in that optimized link, you can add multiple links, okay? So you're a real estate agent, okay? Obviously, if people are going to be buying houses, you want them to go to your website so that way they can search your home. So that's the link. The next one could be a link to your lender. So that way they can go ahead and start their pre-approval, their pre-qual. Maybe you're going to have a link to your Calendly because you have that in there. Okay. Maybe you're going to put links to other things. Doesn't matter. This optimized link, this Milkshake, is going to create a website for you, so you can add all these different links, and it's so cool. It's really nice. Okay. All right. If you've been on my Instagram, then you've seen my Milkshake up in my bio. All right. Next one, your CRM. Now, for those of you who are not in real estate, you're going to be like, what the heck's a CRM? Okay. Guess what? As teachers, we have so many different acronyms for stuff. Yeah. So do real estate agents. Okay. So it takes a little bit. Basically, your CRM is where you put all the clients. It's basically like a Rolodex. Okay. For people who were born not in the 1900s, a Rolodex is the thing that used to sit on an office desk, and it would turn and it would have little cards that popped out and it would have names on it. Okay. So that was like a way to know who all the people were that like wanted to do business with you. Okay. So your CRM is like a Rolodex. All right. And what it does is every time you meet a new person, every time you reconnect with someone, you're going to put them in your CRM. You're going to put in their first name, last name. You're going to put in their email address. You're going to put in their phone number. You're going to put in their address, like where they live. Okay. Then what you can do with that, now that they're in there, is you can set up what are called search alerts. So if this is someone who is searching for a property, you can go ahead and automatically your CRM will do this for you if you have the right one. I use KV Core. But it will send out the houses that meet their requirements, and you didn't have to do anything. All you did was set it up the one time. And guys, it sounds like setting it up like, ooh, is this difficult? No, it's not. Okay. You just follow the bouncing ball. Other things that your CRM can do is they can create lead generating tools, squeeze pages, landing pages, all of these different things for you to increase your pipeline, have more people that you're potentially working with. Guys, it's great. Okay. So you're going to be having a CRM. All right. If you're looking to get into real estate and you're looking at brokerages, one of the things you need to ask them is, what is your CRM? What do you like about it? How do you use it in your business? Because a good CRM will help you grow your business. A bad CRM, or one that like, if the brokerage doesn't even, they're like, oh, we don't really use it. We didn't like it. Oh, really? Well, what was it? And then do your research. Okay. CRMs can be expensive. Our brokerage, we get our CRM for free. Okay. KV Core on the regular with other brokerages that don't like actually give it. Like if you bought it separate, it's expensive. So the fact that I get it for free, I love it. All right. You're still going to use Google Forms. Why? Because after I've, worked with a client, I want to get a review from them. So I'm going to create a Google form and I'm going to send it out to them. all right, because I want to get some feedback. Google Classroom, you may still be using that because one of the things as a team owner, I created a Google Classroom and all the people who are members of our team that we use the Google Classroom. Hey guys, I created this video on how to, have a successful open house. Watch it. Give me some feedback. What'd you think? Anything that you didn't already know? What are you going to use now? And I always ask them, I give them essential questions, okay? When you're watching this is what I want you to be thinking about, okay? I want you to be thinking about, what did I not know that I've now learned? What am I ready to implement? And how do I think this is going to help my business grow? All right. So it's not just, hey, watch this. No, I want to get some feedback from them. And I also want to guide them. I want to give them a purpose for watching it. Okay. And then another one is Teachable. Teachable is so cool. And I wish I used it more when I was in teaching. So Teachable, it used to be all straight free. Then I think they figured like, hey, wait a minute, we should be making more money. So now they've made their plans. The free one's not really that good. So I had to start paying for it. But basically what Teachable is where you can create a virtual classroom with different courses. You can charge for the courses. So you think to yourself, what am I really good at? Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, if you are a middle school teacher and or a high school teacher, or maybe even elementary. Okay, we'll just put us all in the same thing. Okay, and people always ask you like, "Oh, will you tutor my child over the summer?" Right? They want them to be tutored. Okay. Well, the money's good. I'm not going to lie. Okay, the money is really good when you tutor people. However, what are you giving up? You're giving up your summer. Okay, so how about this? How about you create an online course of everything that you would be doing in the tutoring? You can do videos, you can have slideshows, you can have text, you can have quizzes, like you can have all these different things, okay? You do it one time, you put it on Teachable, and now you're going to sell it. So when someone says, hey, would you tutor my son or my daughter over the summer? You know what? I don't do that anymore. However, I do have an online class that I have created. And what it's going to do is it's going to go through all of the different areas. I'm actually teaching it. Okay, so you're going to have some videos on there of me going through. There's going to be some quizzes. There's going to be some notes. There's going to be some, like a slide deck that actually shows like how to do different things. Or maybe it's like reading. Maybe reading was your jam. Okay, what are some comprehension strategies? Maybe it's a comprehension strategy course. Okay, you want to get better at comprehension? Use these different skills. Okay. So how do I use that in real estate? Well, there's a lot of stuff that people need to learn. And when people join my team, obviously I would love to help all of them one-on-one. But as our team continues to grow, that means I have less time for everyone. And so what I've done is all of my courses, everything that I can teach them to help them grow their business, increase their production, feel supported, know how to use all of the tools for a real estate agent. I've created these courses. Now, they cost money, but the people who have joined us, the people who have partnered with us, they get them for free. They have a coupon code. No, I'm not going to tell you what the coupon code is. Okay, but they have a coupon code and they don't pay anything. They're free. So guys, these are some great apps. All right. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, you're like, I think I want to get into real estate. Well, I would love to support you. And I'd love to bring you into our collective group of agents. We have partners in multiple states. So guess what? You don't have to go into it alone. All right. And through our coaching and our training and our support, they're leaving the classroom. They're going full time. Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to stay in the classroom. That's totally fine. Guess what? Part-time agents can still supplement your income. Yeah, I know part-time agents that make more than some of the full-time agents. And the reason why is because they have so much passion. Guys, let's connect. Let's chat on some ways that I can help you reach your goals. Going into real estate can seem scary. Starting something new can be a challenge, but you keep the attention of 24 to 32 children a day for 7 hours. You maintain peace in a sea of hormones and body odor. You can do this, and I'm here to help you. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Jackie Durbin AZ and at Teachers in Real Estate. Also, like, share, and rate this podcast. And if you need help or have state-specific questions, reach out to me, and I will gladly help. Thank you guys for listening. See you next time.